YouTube. So for a while now I have been debating on whether or not to upload this type of video because there's just a lot going on. This is kind of gonna be sort of my hair is bugging me. This is kind of sort of going to be like my draw my life. I suck at drawing, let me just put that out there. So it's not going to be drawing, I'm just going to explain it. I think it'd be a lot better. What I'm going to do for this sort of video, this video is not going to end here. I've been speaking to a lot of you, on social media, and a lot of you have told me, you know what, just make it a series because you have been through so much that you won't be able to express or tell your story in all one video. So I thought, you know what, that is an amazing idea. So what this series is going to be called is called this series is going to somewhat be called Story of My Life. Let's just do that. So Story of My Life. And I'm just gonna tell you, like, in videos, I'll upload them every Friday. So every Friday you guys will be watching a video, and I'm going to be reminiscing on my past or sharing an experience that I'm going to be sharing an experience with you that I went through. So because I can't get everything out in one video, like, I've been through a lot of crap, and I'm just going to be real in these videos, and they're going to be raw. And some of the stuff I might say, a lot of people are going to be like, you know what, that's too intense for me, like I can't watch those sort of videos, but that's fine. But a lot of you have said, you know what, Alexis, your story will help a lot of people because, I look up to you, and I really am like taken back by that. Like, that means so much to me because it means a lot because I never really had anyone there for me. So me doing this, I want you guys to know that I'm here for you. If you guys want to talk, I'm here. You can contact me at any way on social media. I guarantee I will get back to you. There has not been one person that I know of that has wrote me that I have not responded back. Like, I'm just that type of person. If you're reaching out to me and you're taking the time to write me, boo, I'm going to take the time to write you back because, like, I am not
like, oh, my shit don't stink. No, all our shit stink, alright?
So I'm not going to act like I'm better than you or anything. So, yeah. So I know there's some of you who know that. I know there's some of you that I have, talked to, and we already built a relationship, and it's been amazing. So enough of that. I'm gonna go into Story of My Life, aka Draw My Life. So my name is Alexis Reyes. My full name is Alexis Jayda, but my mom always called me Alexis Jayda, like, for everything. Alexis Jayda, don't do that. Alexis Jayda, like, it's just Alexis Jayda or Alexis Jayda. So when people talk to me, they sometimes call me Alexis Jayda, Alexis Jayda, Lexi, Lex, Alex. It's just whatever. Most of the people who are closest to me call me Lex, and my brothers call me Alexis Jayda. Especially when it's something serious and they want to talk to me, it's Alexis Jayda. So yeah, so that's that. I don't even know how to go into this. Like, it's seriously, like, so hard looking at the camera because I'm just like, ooh, like, it's just difficult. So let's just start off on what I remember. So I have my mom, and okay, I don't know this. Okay, so me growing up, it was rocky from the get-go, from what I can remember. I had my mom, and I had my two brothers, Martin and Manuel, and then I had a stepdad. I was never really close to my stepdad, but he has raised me since I was 3. So he was all I knew. I never really knew my biological dad, and every time I asked my mom about him, she really had nothing to tell me. All she told me was, Lex, I wanted to get pregnant at age 18. Me and your dad were dating. I got pregnant with you. He wanted nothing to do with me. Okay, so I had to empty my SD card, and I was looking at the footage, and my freaking eye was pinched where it looked like I didn't have eyeliner on it. So don't mind that. Anyways, where we left off is I was really close to my grandma. She helped my mom raise me. If I needed anything, grandma paid for it. If, stepdad was being a jackass, grandma stepped in, and I was my grandma's baby. So, yeah. So childhood was really good, kinda, sorta. I was molested at a really young age by my stepfather, and that made our relationship really rocky, and it really made me feel, wow, I just jumped right into that, huh? Well, let's just put it out there. I got molested by him at a really, really young age. Happened in Mexico and it happened here. I was about 5 or 7, and I went and told my mom as soon as it happened, and she just fucking covered for him. She was just like, he probably thought it was me, and she just seriously just made me feel like I didn't really matter. So I had to deal with that, and you know, he was like, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. I'm only 5 or 6 and toys will buy anyone. So I was like, okay. And you know, my mom would always put in my head like, he didn't know, he didn't know, he didn't know, he thought you were me, yada 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 yada. Like, I laid in one bed with my brother Martin. My mom and my stepdad were in another bed. He got out of his bed to go into my bed. So I don't know how my mom didn't understand that it was not a, oh, you know, it's because he thought it was me. No, like, even at that age I knew. So, you know, I got the whole, like, I understood from the get-go, like, my mom wasn't gonna leave him. So him giving me gifts and stuff, I was like, you know what, okay. And he would cry and be like, I don't want us to, you know, break apart. I'm so sorry, please forgive me. So it was like one of those things where it's like, as a child, I felt really, really guilty. Like, I felt like I had to, because my mom was gonna lose her husband, my brother was gonna lose his dad, like my brothers were gonna lose their dad. So at a young age, thinking like that, now that I think about it, I'm just like, that wasn't okay for me to think like that. So anyways, so I had to grow up with, you know, like, that happened to me. So starting school, my guard was up, like, to everybody. Like, I didn't trust nobody. I tended to, when I did have friends, I tended to like be like, do anything. Like, I remember I had this one friend, and now she tries to talk to me like, if it's like never happened. I hate her. Like, I seriously do. But I had this friend growing up, and she seriously was like the rudest little girl ever. Like, it was her way, and if it wasn't, then I don't want to be your friend. And me, so desperate for friends, I would do anything. So I seriously would follow her around. I remember this one incident, and it still stuck with me till this day. We were in the cafeteria, and we were, you know, eating, and she had her tray and I had my tray, and I was just eating because I was hungry. I remember chowing down, and I remember her grabbing her tray and telling her friends, watch this. So she like said, watch this, picked up her tray, and me, where I was like so stuck to her and wanted to have her as a friend, I got up too. And then she sat back down and she started laughing. She's like, you see, I told you, to all her friends. And I felt so freaking stupid. So of course I had to play it off and, like, you know, walk away. But I was so hungry. Like, I just stood by the garbage can, just still eating. I felt so stupid. So stuff like that, like, she would do stuff like that, and I would like follow her like an idiot. And yeah, like, there was a thing called chicken fight, whatever, and we would go on the monkey bars, and one person would hold on to the monkey bar and another person on the side, and you would fight. She would have me fight against like the meanest girls there, and like, I would get my ass handed to me, and she would tell me like, oh, if you don't fight her, then we can't be friends. And I was so desperate, I was so desperate that I wanted friends. So I would do it. It was horrible, and it was really bad. And then you know, that was one thing that I remember, and I hated that. And so my guard was up with like other people, so when whoever I did open up to, they tended to take advantage of me being so desperate for friends and wanted to have comfort and to feel, you know, friendship. So that kind of sucked. So time passing by, my mom is still with my stepdad. We move into a house finally, because we were so like used to living, you know, with cousins and living with my grandma, and not with my grandma, with my aunts and stuff. So it was kind of like, finally we moved into a house. It was awesome. We moved into a house. I went to a really good school. It was good. It was alright school. I loved the teachers there. I still talk to some of the teachers till this day. They were just so amazing towards me. And there was some good friends that I still know now, and then there's some people who like made it hell. So like I said, I was so desperate for friends that I would basically like do anything to keep a friendship going. So the school was okay. I would get picked on, It was it was really bad. I had a bully in that school where it got to the point like I didn't even want to go to school. Like I would cry to my mom like, please don't make me go to school. Like that girl is so mean to me. I don't know how it even happened. Like me and this certain friend, we stopped being friends because like over some drama. She then got with this other friend who ended up being my bully, and they just like went against me, and I think she fed in her ear, was like, oh, she said this, she said that, but I really didn't. And it was just horrible where like she even had boys going up to me and just being like total jerks to me. Like it was horrible. I remember her being like, did you call me a Barbie? And I was thinking in my head like that would be a compliment, and I was so scared. I was like, I didn't call you a Barbie. Like I was so freaking scared of her because she seriously reminded me of a dog. Like as freaked up as that sounds, like she seriously reminded me of a dog. Like her face, everything, like nothing of her looked like a girl. Like she looked like a boy. Like it was so scary. Yeah, like the bully that I had, it was really, really bad. Like I hated her. Like it was at first I didn't have a problem with her, but then it got to the point where she would bully me so much, like I hated her. I was just like, oh my goodness, like I hope this girl falls on a rock and like she gets her knee or she breaks it. Like I really did not like her. Like she had a boy come up to me and he was just looking at me, so I was like, you got a problem? And he was like, yeah, I do. I was like, then fix it. You know, being a little smart ass, he should have popped me in my nose. I swear to God. I was just like taken back. I went up to the teacher, my nose is bloody. I was like, he just punched me in my face, and he was like, yeah, I did it. They were so loyal to that girl and so scared of that girl because she had some like gangster brothers and sisters, like no joke, like they were gangsters. And I was just like, holy crap. And my mom came, my mom was pissed, like my daughter just got assaulted, and it was just horrible, 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 horrible. Yeah, like this girl just had a problem with me, and I don't know what the hell it was, because like those guys would come up to me and like give me shit, and like this one straight punched me in my nose. So it was pretty bad. I was just like, holy crap. So I finally just asked her like, what the hell, like what do we have here, like who told you what or what? And she was like, oh, I heard you called me a Barbie, I heard that you called me a bitch and all this other stuff. And I'm like, girl, I don't even know you. Like I didn't call you a Barbie, I didn't say that about you, I don't even know you. It was one of those things where like I was seriously stuck, like what the hell did I do? Because I didn't know this person like on that level to be like, oh yeah, she's a bitch and this and that. Like I didn't know her on that level, so it was pretty awkward. So I thought we squashed that, you know. So like that, I don't remember anything else happening after that. After me getting punched in the face, I finally had the balls to go up to her like, what did I do? You know what I mean? So it was one of those things. So after that, we kind of left it at that. Like she stopped being like a little asshole to me, and I had a little group of friends. I was the only dark girl out of my friend group. I had like 3 white girl friends. I still talk to one. We're still really close, but the 2 others, like totally, like when we went to junior high, they totally act like they never even messed with me. It was like really, like it was crazy. Like we would always, all 3 of us would always say like, we're gonna be best friends for years and years, and we're never gonna change. It was one of those things. As soon as we got into junior high, 2 of those white girls were like, F you, don't know you. And the other one, she still hung out with me. It was still fun. We still said hi in there. So we all like ventured off to our little groups. So it was pretty like, okay, like pretty different, you know. Still living in that house and stuff with my mom and my stepdad. I was 13 and I got molested again. Like I'm like whispering because I don't like my kids really hearing me when they came inside. So that was a point where I was like 13 and I was just like, hell no, like this isn't gonna happen. I don't give a f if you were sleeping, you thought it was so and so, because that's what he still tried to say. I don't give a like I was just so mad. Like this is not happening again. Like it's not gonna happen again. So I started going into those stages where it was like F you, F you, F you, F you, and it was just I was seriously, I think, being the way I was because I was just so hurt, because like my mom was supposed to be the one who was supposed to protect me, and like it got to me really emotionally because I feel like she didn't protect me. And when I did go to her, she, like when I was 5, because I will never let that memory go. When I was 5 and like he touched me, whatever, and like I moved him out of the way. Like I moved him so like he knew I was awake. And like he stopped, whatever. I feel like when I told her at 5, she should have put her foot down and been like, fuck this, like we're leaving, like this is how, like that's it, done. But she didn't. And I feel like like I was like really pissed off. So, you know, from when I was 5, and then how it happened again when I was 13, I was just like, that's it, like it's done, like I'm tired of this. It didn't just happen when I was 13 too. When I turned 9, he had touched me, and we left for a day. Like, he has touched me so many times. Like, I seriously, like, I get so, like, even talking about it, I get so angry. But like I said, like, I know this is gonna help somebody, so I'm just gonna put myself out there for you, whoever is going through a situation who feel like they can't come above it. So going on with the story, when I was 9, he had touched me. It was the day before my birthday, and it happened, and I don't want to go into detail about it because I get seriously, like, it kills me. So anyways, it happened a day before my birthday, and I waited up for my mom. Me and my brother, we slept out on the porch because I told him what his dad did. I was like, you know what, like, me and Marion, I think that's why we're so close, because, you know, he's always been there for me. So I told my brother, and he's like, you know, comfort me. He was so little, and we went out and like in the balcony, and I slept outside, and we were getting bit by mosquitoes because, like, I did not want to go inside with that piece of shit. So we're getting bit by mosquitoes, and he knew he did something wrong too, because he didn't even tell us anything. Like, who's gonna let their little kids go outside and just to fucking have a sleepover out, like, have a sleepover outside? Like, so me and him were outside, and like I was just hugging my little brother, and I was just waiting for my mom to get home. My mom wouldn't get home till like midnight. So when she finally did come home, I straight up told her, I was like, you know, Mom, I need to tell you something, and I don't want to be here anymore. And she was like, what happened? And I told her, and she told me that she went into the room, and he had his head down, and he was like, I don't know what happened. So we end up leaving that night. He's calling my mom nonstop, like, I'm sorry, forgive me, I don't know what I was thinking. And she was just like, Alexis, like, we would have to go and move out with grandma, and basically telling me shit I didn't want to hear, instead of being like, you know what, Alexis, it's gonna be okay, we're gonna figure out something. You know, she didn't say any of that. She was just like, we're gonna lose everything, and we're gonna have to move, the boys won't be able to see their dad. And she didn't handle the situation like how I wanted her to, and well, how I would have. Someone put a hand on Angelica, motherfucker, you're dead, like, you're fucking done. So me being a mom, I'm so protective. Like, you should see me with Angelica, like, anything, I'm just like, what? Tell me what happened. And I don't care. Like, when she tells me, like, oh, you know, so and so hit me, I go up to the motherfucker, what the fuck did you do to my daughter? And it's like, oh, it didn't even happen like that. And then, like, I'll get it out of Angelica, and she tells me, I don't care what it is, she can tell a white lie. That's just how I am. And my mom, she handled it so different than how I would as a mom. So anyways, back to my mom. She told me all the bad shit that was gonna happen. She never said, like, we're gonna be okay, you know what, we don't need him. She handled the situation so fucked up that, like, even till this day, it still messes with me emotionally. So she told me all the bad stuff, and one day he called, and he was like, can I just talk to Alexis? And I was like, I don't want to talk to him. She's like, just have to hear what he has to say. He's going to apologize. So he's like crying, like, perdóname, da, 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 I don't know what happened, all kinds of things. And I was just like, I don't want to hear it, like, you know what? And then I got to the point where he kept saying sorry so much. I was like, man, like, I feel bad for him. Can you fucking believe I felt fucking bad for him? So we go back. Okay, so we go back, whatever, and then now up to where I was 13, it happened again, and I told her, like, I fucking told you it wasn't no fucking accident. And she was just like, oh my god. And I was just to the point where I was like, you know what, I don't care, I'm leaving the house. I got to that point where I was like, you know what, stay with him, and that's what you want, stay with him. And it was just, it was like that. And that's why I think she got to the point where she was like, holy shit, my daughter's gonna leave, people are gonna hate me. So we moved out, we live in the apartment, and she would still take us to, like, junior high, my brother to elementary and stuff. And yeah, so there you go. So I suck at explaining, like, what happened, like, my story and stuff. Like, I'm like, that's why I told you I couldn't do Draw My Life, because it would be everywhere. So hopefully you guys can, like, still go on with me and, like, understand what I'm saying. So I started being a little mocosa, fighting, you know, like, being a wannabe gangster, like, woo woo. And I really wasn't. It was just like, now that I look back, I'm like, what the hell was I thinking? Like, to even be like, oh, I'm cool, what's up, you know? Like, that just, it's so, oh my god. So anyways, so I'm 13 going on 14. I meet my first boyfriend. You know, you have your first boyfriend, whatever. Can you believe boyfriend 13, 14? Are you freaking kidding me? Oh, can't even believe. So, you know, boo-hoo, broke up, yada yada yada. Move on to another boyfriend, and that's the kid's biological father. And from the get, it was such a bad relationship. I couldn't wait to like leave him. Like, it was so horrible. Like I swear, if you guys are ever in a bad relationship and you know down deep down in your heart, leave the piece of shit. Please, like, leave them. Like, if I would have left a long time ago, I would have saved so much hurt, and it was just so bad. Like, I swear the only reason why I ever stayed with him, well, the only reason why I know is because I needed to get away from my mom and my stepdad. That's the only reason. Like, it was this, like my friends would always tell me, like, we were so little, but we thought we were so grown. They would like, leave him. Like, oh, why do you have this bruise? Why do you have that bruise? Can you believe he was beating my ass in junior high? Like, he was psycho. Like, oh my god. Like, we would be in the halls and we would go to the basement, because that's where, like, there was classes in the basement. We would go to the basement and he would be like, why, I heard you talking to so-and-so, the host so-and-so, and I try to walk away, grab me by my hand, push me against the wall. Like, he was such a fucking piece of shit, and I was like, oh my god, no, he loves me. Like, oh my god, it was horrible. And like, I blame my mom so much. Like, I can't believe she let it go on. But you know what? Some of it was my fault, because I wanted to act grown. Then andale way, you're gonna fucking, like, you did it to yourself. That's how I feel. Like, I did it to myself, because I wanted to act grown at age 13, 14. Then andale, I got it. So basically, I was in an abusive relationship up until I was, how old was I? 16. I lived with him and his mom and his sister, and I swear to god, I was like Cinderella up in that bitch. Like, they were such fucking assholes to me. Like, even when I see them out in public, I'm just like my skin crawls so bad. Like, they have never ever apologized to the way how they have treated me. Like, I had no voice when I lived with them. I'll go into that more, because like, it gets me irritated. But like, I was in an abusive relationship with him for, you know, a good, what 13, 14, 15, almost when I was 16. So like 4 years, yeah. I was like in an abusive relationship where like my face would have bruises on them. He would beat my fucking ass. And I'm not talking like, oh, accident. It was just like, what'd you say? Boom, boom, boom. It was just bad. It was to the point where it's like, even when I was pregnant, that motherfucker punched me in my stomach. And I was so stupid, because I had no my mom was a crackhead at this time, and I didn't have her to be like, Mom, can I go live with you? Because she was like, I don't even have a home. And it was bad, where I was just like, God, I gotta stick it out. I put in my head, when I turn 16, I'm leaving this piece of shit. Like, I'm gonna get enough money so me and my babies, we can get out of here. It was bad. Like, it was really bad. So yeah, he was really abusive in junior high, and even though he was abusive, I ended up moving in with him. I got pregnant with Andres, so I ended up moving in with him. His mom treated me like Cinderella. Like, I swear, she had me up at 6 o'clock doing the stupidest things, like, oh, this is dirty, clean that, oh, that's dirty. And it wasn't even dirty. Like, she was such an ass, and her and him had such a sick relationship that even his sister would be like, that's not normal, like how they are. It was disgusting. And anyway, so she was such an ass to me. Like, she seriously told me straight up, like, you're like a perro en la calle. And like, I was just like, what? Like, that's just so messed up. She wouldn't even introduce me as like her son's girlfriend. She would introduce me as like the maid, the babysitter. I don't know, like, oh, it was so embarrassing. One time we went to a family event, and I was pregnant with Andres, and he was there, and he was like, oh, I'm just gonna go mingle over there. He cheated on me so many times I can't even count. So I was like, okay. So he left me with his mom, and she's like, you know, they're like, oh, who are you? Me. And I'm like, oh, I'm his. And she's like, oh, una amiga de trabajo. Are you kidding me? I was just like, bitch, are you kidding me? Like, are you serious? Like, oh, I was so mad. Like, living with them was hell. I swear. There's so many times where I cried and I was just like, why does she hate me so much? I even learned his favorite dishes because I was just like, you know, why does he keep cheating on me? Why does she hate me? Like, why was I even there? Like, I think about it and I'm like, why didn't I just go to a shelter? Why didn't I just get into the system? Like, I was just so scared. Like, even when I did try to leave and I told him, like, F you, I don't want to do this anymore, because I caught him cheating a lot of times, he would be my ass and I'd be scared because he would tell me, like, you know what, you're not gonna leave here and think that you're gonna embarrass me. And I'm just like, oh my god. And like, I'd get beat after he would beat me. I'm sorry, I love you. And I was just, it was so screwed up, and I was just like so messed up in the head too, because like, you know, they cry and they cry and you feel bad even though you shouldn't. Like, you feel bad. So I would stay and it was horrible. Angelica was conceived even though I didn't want it. So he like raped me. I even have paperwork on that because I have a restraining order against him. So yeah, so I have paperwork on that, and yeah, like, he raped me. Like, I love Angelica, that's my baby, that's my love. I wasn't ready to have her, and that was his way of locking me down.